We are back. We is me, Dave Cheltenham, him, Scotty Rider River Festival Focus. I've done a better intro on the Tuesday one, so just go back and watch that if you haven't already seen it. We're going to be covering each of the day's festivals. We're obviously on to Thursday now. We'll cover the main races, which is basically the non-handicaps first, and then if Scotty's got any fancy in the handicap, which has given us an absolute super banker in the two handicaps so far. Go back and watch those videos if you haven't. Thursday, mate, we get to kick off with... I mean, it's not even really that good a race, is it? If we're being honest, it's just a typical Thursday at Cheltenham. Just get to see a few horses running. I mean, it's got to start somewhere, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean,
granddaddy.
Yeah. I mean, are you more excited about it than I am? Because I mean, let's be honest, it's just an average middle distance novice chasing it.
I'm not excited, but I'm just nervous by it. I just want him to win so badly. He's like the closest thing to Sam. Everyone that knows me knows I'm Sam Kerr's #1 fan. He is my. I just hope he wins. I just don't want him to not win. It would be bad for the sport if he doesn't win. It'd be like when Justin Gatlin beat Bolt in his last 100-meter race. It would be the equivalent to that if something goes wrong. But I'm not going to waste my really time. He's going to win. His form has been knocked. It's been knocked again. But Cocoa Beach came out and won the Fiestas, who he beat in the Dream War by a million lengths. Everything's just scared of him. Everybody just runs from him. Chantry House is not good enough. All Art's already fallen over fence line because he's got problems with his jumping. If I was going to have an each way bet, it would be Fusel Raffles if he goes here, or the R4, probably here. He's form might be looking all right if Lieutenant Rocco wins the Ultimate on Tuesday. So I think Fusel Raffles is 20. In the without market, you might get a shade of 10s. Apart from that, I don't care. Envoy wins. Simple as that.
Nice. And to be honest with you, I couldn't really add any more to it, mate. I mean, I'm one of the ones that's been it isn't knocking Envoy in the slightest. Like, he's the only bet that I've had in the race, apart from the fact that I backed Fusel any race at the beginning of the season, again, because he was one of my horses to follow. And I like him stepping up in trip, but there's no way that he is anywhere near good enough to really be winning a Grade 1 over 2.5 miles. But it's interesting that you put him up, especially in the without market and potentially each way, because he could come fourth, couldn't he, on that particular book, and it could pay out. Or we mentioned very early on, potentially just looking at place only bets. Envoy, mate, he is just going to dart, so you don't have any fears, you don't have any worries. Just wins, doesn't he? He's a beast. The only reason I've been saying things about him is just for the fact that, for my own benefit, I'd have liked to have seen him. I don't know. I'm not saying that I want to see him make a mistake or something. I just would have liked to seen, I don't know, if he got in a little bit close to someone. He's literally been utterly foot perfect at almost every single fence. And not that, like I said, not that I'm encouraging that I want to see a horse make a mistake, but you're pretty naive if you think that any horse is going to go throughout their career without making a mistake. So all I was thinking was the only thing that you could crab with him, I know people will say it's the depth of who he's beaten, but that doesn't bother me. The only thing you could potentially crab is just the fact that we don't know how he'll sort himself out in a mistake. Because there are a few horses, I don't want to mention them because I'll get told off for just slagging off the same horses over and over again. But there are some horses that literally they're either over the other side really, really smartly, or if they get it a little bit wrong, they get it very, very wrong. And I don't think Envoy would be like that. He was fine on his point to point. He does just win. And where you've touched on the fact that it's a bit nervy thing with him in it when he runs, because he can't get beat for us, can he? Not that I'm into him that deep, but again, that's the reason I'm probably looking for those little, not potential frailties, but I'm looking for something to say about him, is the fact that I want him to win. I want Envoy to be this next superstar. Mate, imagine the Gold Cup next year.
This is where we're going to disagree for the first time tonight. I don't think he'll get the Gold Cup trip in time. I just can't see him being an out-and-out Gold Cup horse. He could have the class like Porto Star. Wasn't stupid comparison. Porto Star was not an out-and-out stayer, I don't think. He was a speedy horse who used to dominate Kempton. Haydock, he got caught on the line once by Imperial Commander and won. He won 4 bets for chasing. I'm talking shite about that. But Envoy Allen could be the same kind of mould where his class would just get him through a Gold Cup. But I think he's a Ryanair horse in time, and nobody wants to win a Ryanair. That's the problem, isn't it? It's I'd rather send him the Champion Chase just for the bit of fun. He's won 3 festival races. Send him the Champion Chase, take on Shishkin and Energamine. Let's just go and take them on. Give everybody what they want, But going back to the market, the second favourite's Energamine. Then you've got Monkfish, Shambu, Sporting John. None of those are going to run. And then you're starting to struggle. You're just he's 8 to 11. If you're really a fan of Von Zon, absolutely bang 8 to 11. He's going to win. So he should be 3s on.
Yeah, I agree, and that's the balmy thing as well. Especially when we look at the Shishkin and Ergamin, like Shishkin's got a genuine competitor in there, and it wasn't so long ago that they were around about the same sort of price. And I know Ergamin's more prominent after that last win, but even before his last win, lots of people were saying that he's got a chance of going close. So yeah, Envoy's got no competition other than jumping the fences. So you're, as far as I'm concerned, you're getting 8 to 11 that he jumps around. And as I just said, as much as we don't know how he'll handle making a mistake, he's been foot perfect. So, like, what more could you want?
That's it.
Lump him, irresponsible gambling, just have it all on him on the Thursday. Let's be honest, if it gets to the Thursday in the marsh and you haven't already made a few quid, then you probably shouldn't be betting for the rest of the festival. But that would be poor for this Thursday preview. Mate, some decent racing on the Thursday. I feel like every year, as the week goes on, sometimes it gets a little bit trickier to pick some winners. Like Tuesday, normally like Supreme Arc or maybe even Champion Hurdle, but there's a good few races there where you feel fairly strong in them. Thursday again, sort of races like Champion Chase, your Ballymoors, your RSAs. When it gets to Thursday, I feel like this is like almost feels like this is the last chance to have a strong opinion and like a real strong fancy on stuff. We've gone past that last race as far as I'm concerned. That after Envoy Land, we're probably going to have some difference of opinions as we go through the races. We'll come on to the handicaps again at the end, like we've done with the other 2 days. Ryanair Chase, mate, and then the Stairs Hurdle. So we'll obviously not do them together. They're the next 2 that come up in the order anyway. What's your view in the Ryanair? Because I don't have a very, very strong opinion in it, and it's not a race that I ever have a significant bet in, and I don't think I will again this year. But I'd be keen to know your thoughts.
I'm struggling really to be confident after his last run, but I said Min is always overpriced every time he runs. Like the John Durkin was 2 to 1. He absolutely, well, we couldn't see what happened because of the fog that day, but he obviously won well. He's just so overpriced. 6 to 1. He should be. I think he should be 11 to 4 favourite ahead of Allaho. I just don't like Allaho. I'll take him on every time he runs. Imperial Aura is probably the forgotten horse because of his exit last time. I think the second fence. He's definitely got the ability. And David Bass, I think, riding as well as anybody. He's just so good from the front. I just think he's the best jockey from the front since Ruby retired. In the last 3 seasons, he's been brilliant. Mr. Fisher is one that could have improvement in him. But again, I think he's a bit ground dependent. He needs a good ground, I think. He's definitely got I think the Peterborough race he won that rearranged at the course, wasn't it? He won that earlier in the season. He's definitely one on the radar. And I swear to God, this is not, you know what I'm going to say as well, this is not heart over head. He's a bit like Goshen. If he turns up and he fancies it, he's proven it. Sam Crow could come back. How can you not back him at 20? If he turns up on the day, that is my silly one for the night. But it's not a strong race this year. Min's what, 10? He's pushing 11. Paquet Duderies is just, I don't think it's good enough. So yeah, I'd just be happy to see the small each way on Min 60.
Nice. Well, mate, we're just as silly as each other because I put Sam Crow up on Ante Up a little while back, just saying exactly the same as you, like 20 to 1 for a dual festival winner. It's just stupid. And like we say, which one turns up, who bloody knows? But at 20 to 1, he ain't going off that price on the day, is he? So echo that little beauty. The beautiful thing about Min, well, I say beautiful thing, when he made that mistake at the Dublin Racing Festival where Chacon Poussoir would have won the race anyway, like he made the mistake, Matt that I do Ante Up with, he's a massive like Min fan, not in your league of Sam Crow, but he's fairly close to it with Min. He made that mistake and I messaged him and I literally just, the message just said, pull him up, like after he did it, yeah. but not because like I thought he was injured or I thought he was anything untoward, but it was such a significant mistake. Yeah, save himself, because what are you doing? You're not going to win the race anyway. And he did pull him up quickly. And I messaged him. I said, mate, that is literally the smartest thing that they could have done. And then afterwards, I don't think Patrick said there was anything like wrong with him. Like he didn't pull him up quickly because he thought he was injured. I think he pulled him up because, like I said, and like you were saying there, save his energy. But there has been rumours that have been circulating out a little bit. Nothing's obviously been confirmed, but there's been slight rumours that he was bad from it, and whether he had to miss work or whatever it was. But this is what's happened. This is what's caused what's happened in the market now. The only reason Allaho is shorter than Min is because of that slight concern, like whether that did take anything out of him or whether he had a niggle or anything. So again, we're at the position where it's non-run or no bet. Like the way the market is at the moment, Allaho, all right, he's run twice at the festival very well. And the drop back in trip probably would suit. Like I think if he'd have run in the JLT last year, I think he probably would have won it, to be fair. But who knows? We're never going to know the answer. But I think that this probably is about his trip. But he still hasn't won a race at the festival. Like his best form is when he's getting beaten by horses. So I can only see Min and Allaho's prices swapping over. So I think Min, if you back him now, non-one, no bet. If there's any truth in the niggles or he has got any injuries, then he would hold him back because he could go to the Melon Chase at Aintree that he dotted up him before. But if he comes to Cheltenham, then he's going to be sound enough to have his chance, and he won't be 6-1. Like he'll go off 7-2, 3-1 Fav Min without doubt in my mind. So the time to back Min, I know people would have backed him anti-post. He wouldn't have been bigger than 10s, I don't think, at any point in the season. So the time to back Min is definitely right now. Imperial Aura could be okay. I'm not a massive, huge fan. We've obviously touched on Sam Crow, haven't we? It's one of them. It is a fairly, again, it's another sort of race where, I wouldn't be surprised if Imperial Aura won it. Maybe just a little disappointed. Fakir Doudries, again, wouldn't particularly be surprised. If he was 33s a while back, and I backed him for the Ryanair, just thinking that they were running him over further, just thinking they'll drop him back in trip because it wouldn't suit. I cashed out of it after that run. I think he might have pulled up, or he was just so pants. Then obviously he ran a bit more eye-catchingly behind Chacon Paul Soir, and his price is coming a little bit. So I've got some back on it in them, but not at 33s. I think I've got 28s. But anyway, that's just talking about prices. But again, like now, the price that he is, like if you were going to back Fakir Doudries, you should have been on at 25s, 33s. You shouldn't be backing him at 8-1, given the fact that he probably isn't going to be good enough for it, is he? It is one of them that you could definitely make a case for a handful, but I don't care what anyone says. The right two horses to be backing right now from a price perspective is Min and Sam Crow.
I agree, definitely.
Come on, the boys. I mean, this is pathetic. What a shit show, mate, isn't it? We've got to Thursday and we're still not arguing about anything. Stayers Hurdle. This could cause some controversy. Maybe, possibly. Yeah. Who knows? Go on, Stayers Hurdle. You tell me who wins the Stayers Hurdle, Scotty.
Oh, I'm going to get grief. My mate Park is a Paisley Park fan. I'm Pine Hill. I just think Richard Johnson just got it wrong the last day at Ascot, didn't he? I think he went too soon. He should have let Roxana go on and then pounce. Paisley Park Scott. I just can't trust him after last year. I just don't think he's the same horse, even after his performance last time. I'm just leaning towards backing Gavin Cromwell's improver, Flooring Porter, each way. I think Flooring Porter, everyone's talking about Sire de Burley. You can't have it. Mm-hmm. He beat Sire de Burley, he beat Fury Road, and he beat the Storyteller in his last run. That is best form going into the race in Ireland. I just like him. I just think he's just an improver. He goes from the front, and I think it'd be hard to peg back. Time Hill is definitely the one that I'd say is out of him and Paisley Park. I'd definitely rather be with Time Hill. But I'd give a shout to Liz McGraw after his win drop. He was good the last day. He's definitely got a chance of sneaking in again. I don't think the Storyteller is a Grade 1 horse. I think he runs well in Grade 1s, but he always seems to fall into a race where it either goes his way or it's just like lacking quality. I just don't think he's that level. Mm-hmm. Flooring Porter each way. I just think he's still improving, and I think his price is ridiculous. I think he should be 7-8-1, and he's nearly 3 times the price.
Yeah. See, he's one that I'm a big Paisley fan, and I backed Time Hill right at the beginning of the summer, or whenever it was that Philip Hobbs basically came out and said that he's definitely not going over fences, because I would have quite liked to see Time Hill over fences, but hey ho, he's not. So it's just the initial thing. Like, I like Albert Bartlett form for a Stayers Hurdle. Obviously, it worked out with Penhill. It all should have worked out, if you know what I mean, Harry, if he didn't have issues on the day. So the fact that Monkfish was going chasing, the fact that we've got Fury Road, I did back him anti-posty. I don't think he's going to come to Cheltenham now. Latest exhibition, we knew he was going to have fences, but the fact that Tommy was there, I backed him at the beginning of the season just because I knew I wouldn't back him at any other point. Like, I still wouldn't back him now. The Ascot run, mate, this is where we definitely will disagree on this. I don't think he did hit the front too soon, and I know Richard Johnson proper swore after him, was fuming about it. I personally think he was just that fuming because he never expected Paisley Park to fucking come flying past him like he did. And the fact that he got done in that Albert Bartlett and he was fuming after that, it seems to keep happening with Time Hill. The thing is, I don't think it is going to happen, but he had a little bit of a patchy start to the season, Richard Johnson, and he is an absolute legend of a jockey. He's very, 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 very good. don't think it is going to happen because I think you want to look at Time Hill going for future stuff. But like, it wouldn't surprise me. I know he's still got some more time in the season. If he won the Stairs Hurdle on him and he was thinking about hanging up his boots, like that's like, I know it's like a ridiculously stupidly absurd thing, but like this horse is the sort of horse that makes me feel like he sort of stayed in there. It's probably not that. Like he's probably got loads of years in behind him, but there's something about this horse and Richard Johnson, like he's just in his element with him. And like the Deafy thing, when he was a juvenile, he got to ride him loads because he's obviously the JP horse. Barry Garrett, he goes to get all the glory on Deafy de Saw when he goes over fences. Like it's frustrating for him, innit? Time Hill's like his little baby in it. Like I say, getting turned over in that Albert Barley, he was gutted. The Ascot race, again, I still think the fury was just the fact he's just like, for fuck's sake, I just want to win one of the big ones with him. He could definitely do it against him. The thing that's annoying is the fact we didn't see the Cleve Hurdle run, and I always bang on about this. Cleve Hurdle is the longest distance between the final flight and the finish line at Cheltenham in the whole season, and the Stairs Hurdle is the closest the final flight is to the finish line. Like there isn't much racing after the last. So whereas Ascot, there was the time for Paisley to do what it did. I think if those two had run against each other in both races, which they wouldn't have done in the Cleve anyway, but the longer running would suit Paisley in the Cleve. So I would have expected Paisley to do him. But I think the Stairs Hurdle's set up to suit Time Hill. Like Richard Johnson won't leave him so long to get to the front like he did in that Albert Bartlett, because he won't really be stuck behind stuff. Like he ain't gonna make that mistake again. He's going to jump the last, trying to do it in front. The only way that Paisley's going to be able to catch him again is Paisley's got to be right on his tail. And I don't know whether Paisley can get up there and do it, but I still believe in Paisley, mate. And to be fair, Flooring Porter at a bit of a price is probably a shout. I refuse to look at the Irish horses because I want Paisley to win. And I do genuinely see Time Hill as the only danger. And I just don't want to think that there's a third or fourth horse out there that's going to be in the mix.
It's years ago when I said the other day I compare Paisley and Time Hill. I know they've only met twice, but my tent or yours and the new one, how many times they came so close and they kept beating each other. It can then end up like that. It's just tossing the point on the day. It could be like that, but yeah.
The thing is, I did say at the beginning of the season, again, I put Paisley up on the ante-up right at the start of the season, and I said that if he gets beaten Newbury, like almost that would be me done with him. Like he should be winning off that break. I don't want to say that they didn't put enough training into it. I don't think there'd be any excuses for it. But obviously he got beaten, and I thought fair and square by Time Hill. But what he did at Ascot, the fact that he managed to show that like turbo, got the door shut on him on the corner, didn't he? And then he like comes round. Like I cannot believe he got up. And I say stupidly, I backed him at Ascot. And again, like I say, I said in the anti-up thing that I'd sort of not write him off completely, but I'd be against him if he got beat after Newbury. Then I stupidly go back him at Ascot, and I saw him fly, and I thought like this, I've ruined myself again because he's going to just get beat. And then the fact that he got up and won, I didn't expect it. Like I said, I reckon that's why Richard Johnson was so fuming, like he can't believe he did it. But to do what he did, even if Richard Johnson did maybe go a little bit too soon, he showed so much pace there that it just made me realise that he has like still got the ability to do it. Kind of like, I know they're different ends of the scale, but like what Goshen did in that Kingwell, it makes you realise that they've actually got it in them. But I do think that Paisley's obviously going to be in behind and going to have to go past Time Hill. Richard Johnson's going to dictate probably how good Paisley Park's chance is, because like we say at Ascot, maybe if he had held on to him a little bit longer and then kicked on, it would have worked in Time Hill's favour. When it comes to Cheltenham, if Dickie Johnson times it right, then in theory, Time Hill's capable, and he's already beaten Paisley, so he probably could do him again. Again, I've mentioned it in another race. This would be the sort of race they could run it 3 or 4 times, and I'd expect, like you say, my tent of yours and the new one, you could see these two beating each other on another day, shouldn't they? We've definitely got the winner between the two of us, but I just hope it's Paisley, mate. Please, like I'll be. It'd be nice if Time Hill wins, because he could be like the new one, or not the actual new one. I mean, like the new kid on the block for Stairs Hurdles. I know they're going to send him over fences next season, they reckon, whatever. But if he won this, I'd like to think they'd keep him over hurdles a bit longer. But who knows? Hey ho. This isn't about me, this show. This is about you. Stairs Hurdle we've done, mate. Thursday, there's quite a few okay handicaps on the Thursday, so I need to ask you about that. The only other race that's non-handicap, which I don't know if you have much of an opinion in it, is the Mares Novices Hurdle. It's sort of been blown open a few times this season because there's been horses that have been fancied, horses that have had injuries, horses that have then disappointed after. So as it stands, it looks fairly wide open. Is there anything that you've got your eye on, or not too fussed about it?
Ever since Gypsy Island, she's let me down 2 years. I just thought I can't be asked with the race, to be honest. I think Royal Kahala is she was a bit unlucky the last day. She was giving weight away, wasn't she? She'd be the one I'd probably stick with. I think Cheltenham will suit her. I think she's 70-30 to go. There was rumours she might not turn up, but Hookup, there's all the rage about her. I think her form ties in well with some of the top Irish novices, but it's not a race I've got a strong opinion on. I'd just be happy with sticking with Royal Kahala, who I backed when she beat Gauloise, who's got no chance. I think she's probably one of the worst horses like that at the top of a market, or near the top. She should be nowhere near the top. I think Royal Kahala probably could win, but apart from that, I haven't really got a strong opinion on her.
Yeah, fair enough, mate. And it does look fairly open. I did put Gal Louise up on Anti Up, and I thought she was quite good on debut, and then she was all right after. It's more the comments that come out from the yard as well. Like Patrick Mullins on, I don't know what show he was on. He was on some sort of show doing a podcast. Basically, was just not slagging her off, but basically saying, yeah, she wouldn't be the best, even the best novice mare that we've got in our yard. So when people are talking about her, I think then she was fairly close to being fab for the race. Made me think, hang on a minute, if they're starting to not talk about her in any sort of confident fashion, then she can't really be any good. Because even if they don't fancy a horse or they don't rate the horse, they don't normally say negative things about them. So you're definitely probably right about Gal Louise. The Glancing Queen's one that I backed right at the beginning of the season, and obviously the fact that she got beat last time out is not ideal. I was expecting her to win that and then shorten up a bit for this, but
yeah, not a fan of her. Not a big fan of the horse.
No, Glens of Antrim's interesting. I can't. I want to. I do know who it is, but I just need to get it up to confirm. I mean, I could probably edit this to make me sound even smarter, couldn't I? But I'll leave it in because whether she goes to the festival or not, I'm 100% sure yet. Manella Melody is the one that she is. She's a full sister to Manella Melody, she was pants in the Mares Novice last year, but and that's it. Yeah, so she's well bred. She was beaten by Statler first time up, who's obviously fab for the Albert Bartlett. She's just the sort of one, again, you talked about it in the bumper, didn't you, that Willie Mullins can have a few. Long gone of the days where you just back Willie Mullins' horse that starts with L in this race. But obviously Concertista, when she won, it was a big price. Eglantine de Sceaux was the other one that was close in that race. That was another one that was a monster price. So you wouldn't be surprised if she was popular for a bit of money, and especially the fact that she's JP colours, and JP would have banged in a few winners, wouldn't she? Or wouldn't he? Especially on that Thursday, probably winning Pertemps, Kim Muir. There could be some accas with this one in. So happy with that for the Mares Hurdle then? Mares Novice Hurdle, not much of a talking race, is it?
Not a massive race for me, to be honest.
But there are 3 handicaps on the Thursday. I think you mentioned the Kim Muir was one you didn't care about.
I don't really back it. I don't really normally have a bet in the race.
Dodgy jockeys normally, isn't it?
It's not the jockeys. It's just at the end of Thursday, I've normally done my nuts, and I'm just I've had enough, and I can't be bothered. I've got no opinion until the weights come out. But if LeBroy is anywhere near top weight, he's the only horse I won't back in the race. I don't like him. And I put anybody off backing him. I just don't think he likes winning anymore. Ron Wildthread, I think, is probably he's almost favourite, but it's not interested in having a bet in the race, to be honest.
So of the other 2, we've got the Pertemps, where I'm adamant I know the winner of that race, and then there's the Paddy Power Plate. You got any opinion in either of those?
I'd like to know who he thinks going to win the Pertemps, because I'm starting to, after being with the bosses Oscar for so many months, so many weeks. I think Imperial Alcazar was good last day. I think he's I don't know.
He could know lots of people like him.
I think he's got a good chance. He really does. I don't know if third wins after his win the other day, if he's going to be entered, if he's even qualified for the race. I haven't really looked at him. But no, Imperial Alcazar was the one I looked at. But again, for the weight to come out, I'm still not really 100% sure on that one. The plate, the Brown Advisory Plate, or whatever it's called now, Defi Blur was one I came down on. He's entered. I'm not sure if he's going to run. But again, he's got form behind, which ties him with the big dog. I do like him after his Grand National trial. He's definitely one, but Iblio would be my main interest in the bet. Iblio and Defi Blur.
Ooh, very nice. So the Pertemps, I don't like Imperial Alcazar is definitely got like a bit of a chance. I just don't think he's like got enough in hand to be winning it. So I don't like him, but I can see where he is in the market, and I can see why people like him. But he's one of those horses that you just can't. I just can't have. Champagne Platinum, I proper fancy for the potential. Mate, off his.
Oh, hate him. I don't like the horse.
Off his mark, I'm adamant he'll win a race, whether it's the Potemkin or not, whether he's been laid up for, I don't know. And obviously, he was smashed up for the Kim Muir last year. I mean, you wouldn't have known; you would have been off somewhere else watching something different, home and away or something. But he was smashed up for the Kim Muir. I just see this horse being smashed up. So, and I think he has got a chance, but he ballsed up last year in the Kim Muir, so he could quite easily balls up again. Third Wind is qualified yet, so he could potentially go in there. Yeah, happy days. And then the plate, I haven't got much of an opinion in there. I did the handicap preview thing last night, and I mentioned about Farclas a little bit, just because he probably deserves to be where he is in the market, but not really original, is it? Or it is original to tip up a favourite in a handicap. So that pretty much mops up Thursday. Happy to call it a day there?
Yep.
Superb. So there'll be links to Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Friday somewhere. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching it on Facebook, get a life, get onto YouTube and subscribe, or just find the videos on one of our channels.